Hello kiddies, your Uncle Spurt here and welcome to another prostate-probingly pleasing episode of TechSpurt Weekly, where this week we're having a proper squint at another upcoming smartphone, this time a Google-flavoured effort that won't completely skint you, as well as leaping taint first into another metaphorical sack of viewer comments. So it appears that Google hasn't really changed much when it comes to keeping secrets, because news of its impending Pixel 9a is spattered all over the internet just like your mum's and coincidentally, just like your mum's the Pixel 9a should provide some satisfying one-handed action. Probably a bit early in the video for that one actually, should probably get the old censor machine out. Can't have another demonetisation, your Uncle Spurt needs his liquor. TechSpurt Weekly! So, Pixel 9a, eh? This not quite as expensive alternative to the Pixel 9 flagships is set to light up our little worlds in March 2025. And already we know basically all of the specs thanks to some highly enthusiastic leaking. And personally, gotta say I've had mixed reactions to the latest round of leaks. Like, my first reaction was to empty my bowels with violent and vengeful ferocity, although that might have admittedly had more to do with my lunchtime coronation chicken baguette. Yeah, I'd give it 10 minutes. One of the more disappointing leaks for us stunty-handed folk reveals that the Pixel 9a's screen has grown to 6.3 inches versus the proper dinky 6.1 inch panel on the Pixel 8a. The Pixel 8a with its 6.1 inch design was pretty much perfect for one-handed play, so I would prefer that Google kept it as dinky as possible. But hey, perhaps Google has managed to slim down those chunky-ish bezels from the 8a, so the 9a will still be a pleasure to fondle. Although those lovely leaks do show that the dimensions have increased slightly versus the 8a, and the phone is also a wee bit bigger than the 6.3 inch Pixel 9, but we are talking mere fractions here. It's basically a centipede schlong thicker and wider than the Pixel 9, which was pretty decent for one-handed use, so I think we're all good. Just like the Pixel 8a, you can expect the 9a to sport a more basic plastic finish around back rather than glass. But to be fair, the 8a still looks slick and feels rather lovely, while it's also pleasingly light. So I'm basically expecting the exact same treatment for that Pixel 9a. The biggest design change appears to be the eradication of Google's iconic camera bar, which I don't know, kind of feels like it removes some of that pixely identity. But will at least slim down this smartphone somewhat. And yes, the Pixel 9a will sport basically the same display as the older 8a, with poppy OLED visuals and that thigh-strokingly slick 120Hz refresh. Yummo. I don't think anyone will be particularly shocked or startled to hear that the brains of the Pixel 9a will once again be Google's Tensor G4 chipset, which also powered the rest of the Pixel 9 series. And I'm sure this isn't the most powerful chipset around by any means, especially now the likes of MediaTek's Dimensity 9400 and the Snapdragon 8 Elite are officially a thing. In fact, if the Tensor G4 were a Pokemon, it would probably be a low-powered Palpitoad. I mean, what the f even is this? It kind of looks like somebody discovered a monkey's paw and for their first wish they asked for your mum's favourite bedtime toy to gain sentience, with the most gormless f***witted expression possible. You get the idea, but to be fair, those Pixel 9 blowers could still run stuff like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves on the higher graphics settings without completely blasting their Y-fronts to soggy shreds. Only problem is it's a mere 8 gigs of memory stuffed inside the Pixel 9a, so it is likely you will see some juddery stumbles in more demanding fare like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves, especially if you jack up those graphics. But for a mid-ranger, it should still prove quite competitive overall. And in more exciting news, Google has apparently managed to cram a mighty 5000 mAh capacity battery inside of the Pixel 9a, a definite upgrade over the previous generation. These rumours on, of course, an overflown bag of foul-smelling bum liquid. Yeah, it's even an upgrade over the Pixel 9's 4700 mAh capacity battery, and basically on a par with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, so fantastic news if true. Although yes, those very same rumours do also have the Pixel 9a's battery charging capping at 18 watts. 18 watts, 18 measly crappy cock-nobbling watts. As for the cameras, well, the Pixel 9a's hardware seems to be a downgrade from the Pixel 9, although we're still not sure which 48 meg primary sensor and 13 meg ultra-wide sensor Google has gone with. But either way, you'll still get that smart-ass image processing courtesy of the Tensor G4, so hopefully your pics in your videos shouldn't look much different to what you get with the Pixel 9. Although don't expect any support for the video boost shenanigans and none of those Pro tools as well. You'll have to upgrade beyond the Pixel 9 to the Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL for those. But you should still get that fantastic suite of AI-based photo editing tools, so you can, for instance, erase all evidence that you might have been treating your important work trip, like a lads Brits abroad pissathon before your wife actually checks out your pics on Google Photos. So yeah, if the overall camera experience and the end results are similar to what you would get with the Pixel 9 flagship, then in the Pixel 8a, Google isn't just launching a fresh new mid-ranger, it's also kicking its very own Pixel 9 flagship phone right in its metaphorical danglies, because why would you spend that extra cash on a more expensive smartphone that basically has a smaller, albeit slightly faster charging battery? Of course, these rumours could all turn out to be a fresh batch of festering arse gravy. All we've got to do is survive until roughly March 2025, when the Pixel 9a is set to launch, to find out. Of course, considering it's still over a month until Christmas, and yet I'm already at the putting away a dozen mince pies and a bottle of port every night stage, surviving until March is maybe easier said than done. Anyway, following all of that highly exciting Pixel 9a discourse, how are you feeling towards Google's next mid-range mobile? Has it got you gushing like Niagara Falls, or are you more withered like a winter blossom? Be great to hear your thoughts down in the comment section-y thingy down below. And now it's time for the part of the show that always reminds me of winter, because it's dark, cold, and it causes my bollocks to fully retract. It's viewer comments. Viewer comments! So let's start this week with Kind of Animal, who says, Uncle Spurt Goes to India sounds like a sitcom I'd be very keen to watch. I'm not going to lie, it probably wouldn't be that entertaining, because the majority of it would just involve me absolutely face-f***ing a whole bunch of Naans and curries and Kingfisher Ultras, and when I wasn't stuffing my face, I'd probably just be rocking back and forth on the toilet, weeping silently and regretting my previous life decisions. India was fantastic, as with my previous trip, the main takeaway is that the people are so bloody friendly. But I do worry about the locals in Delhi with the quality of that air, man. Like every morning, the smog was so thick you could literally punch it. In fact, it was so bad, I was actually looking forward to getting back to a bit of London air, which, let's face it, smells like it was freshly squeezed out of Cerberus's bowels. So fingers crossed, man. Really hope the situation over there improves pretty pronto. Most of the comments from last week were directed at the old photo of me from 20 years ago on my first trip to India, which, in case you missed it, looks something like this. Kenji Sato says, whoa, you had hair. Yeah, I was just waiting for these comments. Gerard Donahoe says, wow mate, you look very creepy when you had some hair, kind of like a weird offspring of Jimmy Carr. Jason McMeekin says, oh my god, that photo of Uncle Spurt with hair, that's creepy weird. Chris S says, Uncle Spurt with hair, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Wow, AI is really good, made him look like a serial killer. And Imperatus Somnium says, losing the hair was a good move, to be honest. I mean, losing the hair wasn't exactly an intentional, conscious move, to be honest, it just kind of happened. But yeah, starting to see why I didn't have many girlfriends back in the day, because apparently having hair made me look like an ultra creepy serial killer or Jimmy Carr. I honestly can't decide which of those is worse. So yeah, feeling pretty good about the whole being bald thing now, so cheers everyone. HugoLol626 says, when are you reviewing the OnePlus 13? Oh, soon, my friend, very soon. Just be sure you poke the old subscribe button, ding that notifications bell to be the first to know. And Smitchy says, can't wait for the Honor Magic 7 Pro and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra reviews. Yes, very much looking forward to get my mitts on that pair as well. And the rumour mill reckons that they should be going global around MWC 2025, so early March, I believe it's set for next year. So again, Pokebell, ding, thing, whatever the fuck, the usual YouTube toss, you know the drill. Jim McNevin says, balls, said the Queen. If I had them, I would be king. Anatomically accurate. Now in last week's episode over in India, I checked out a local lava phone, the Agni 3. I may have also frequently and inaccurately referred to it as the Agri 3 rather than the Agni 3, a bit of a whoopsie, which was possibly Kingfisher Ultra related. In fact, if you have nothing better to do and a shitload of booze, I recommend going back to last week's episode and taking a shot every time I do it. The A22Dudes9 says, love how we get 50 different pronunciations of Agni, and BVM Bob says, aggravating how you keep mistaking the name there, Uncle Spurt. Very good, sir. And yeah, other more professional YouTubers may have reshot the bits where they muffed up the name of the phone, or they might just have not f***ing said it wrong in the first place, over and over and over again. But hey, I don't think anyone could ever accuse your Uncle Spurt of being professional, and I'm certainly not afraid to keep those bits in and show that even an almighty YouTube like myself is most certainly fallible. And also I'm far too lazy for reshoots. Brady Plays Indie Horror says, the back looks so refined, but the front looks like a mid-ranger from 5 years ago. Make the bezels symmetrical and remove that selfie cam, because you can literally take selfies using the back screen. Yeah, at first I thought as well the selfie camera probably superfluous to requirements, but then you would have to support the likes of Skype and other video chat stuff on that dinky rear screen if you wanted to ditch the selfie cam. Otherwise, when you're, doing a video chat with your family or whatever, either you wouldn't be able to see them or they just get a lovely view of your wall or whatever. And Keo AMVs says, that's a lot of mirrors behind Uncle Spurty. One might think we're getting a few too many angles, and I don't mean on the blowers. Yeah, who needs a multicam setup, eh? MKBHD, eat your cock off. AND0987 says, I thought that was an OAP restroom that you were sat in at the beginning. Yeah, thankfully not in a home just yet, even though I do have the knees and bladder and general constitution of an 80-year-old. Dave McKeegan and a few others asking what I actually shot last week's episode on. Well, I didn't bother taking my DSLR and stuff away with me, so I shot it all on the Oppo Find X8 Pro. Full review live right now, along with a tasty little side-by-side comparison with the regular Find X8, so if you're into all of that, definitely give it a squint. Realers Viewer says, has Uncle been going to the gym? I can see that biceps vein. Not quite, but basically in recent years, especially over COVID, where we're all just sat around on our asses, drinking ourselves into oblivion, certainly did start to get a serious bit of love handle action. Kind of love handles a f***ing gorilla could grab a hold of. And since there was quite obviously bugger all chance I was gonna stop hoying a load of booze and fried goodies down my throat every day, I figured I should probably start doing a bit of exercise. Did not start hitting the gym though, I'm absolutely far too lazy for all of that. What I've started doing is just doing a bit of the old Les Mills boxing VR on the MetaQuest. It's quite a good fun way of staying fit. If you happen to have one of those VR headsets lying around, it works on the old MetaQuest 2 as well as the new 3 and 3S. Yeah, done enough of it now where I actually fancy myself as a bit of a Jake Paul. Maybe I'll leg it down to the local bus shelter and beat up a pensioner just like him, make myself feel better. Ikari Toyuri says, hello, what do you think about the Xiaomi battery life? People on nerdy websites and channels keep shitting on it, but real world reviewers say it's pretty great. I can't honestly remember the last time I reviewed any Xiaomi smartphone and was disappointed in the battery life. They usually cram a pretty big battery into all their blowers, and of course now you got HyperOS, which is a nice lighter version of what we used to have with MIUI. Seems pretty energy efficient on the whole. On the whole. Oh no, we've got another one. Kurz2CJ says, young Uncle Spurt looks like Jimmy Carr. Safe to say you've aged like a fine wine. It's very kind, but honestly, most days I feel like I've aged like any episode of Jim'll Fix It. Better make this the last one for the week as massively out of time. Noisy Boy says, is your new house up to the same standard as the new Mr. Who's the Boss one? I've got absolutely bugger all idea. I've never had the pleasure of going around to his for an evening of board games and kale juice or whatever it is he's into. I'm gonna assume no. Our new gaff was quite a nice price we got it for because it was previously inhabited by an elderly couple who basically hadn't updated it since the 1970s. So I could use a spot of redecoration here and there, or to be completely honest, a full slash and burn affair. I'm quite happy with what I've done here in the studio, liking this setup in general. Unfortunately, the hallway has still got a lovely bit of floral bordering action. That definitely needs to go. The worst of it was definitely our bathroom, which is through here. As you can see, this is a work in progress. Used to be a proper full-on old people's bathroom, including a bath with one of those pulley systems to gently lower yourself into it. Quite handy if you fancy a wash after 6 pints of best. Here's the resident Techspert Towers cat. You meet Mr. Business, how you doing? About as conscious as I'm feeling right now. And of course, a big fan of the lovely green carpets as well. So yes, got the builders coming in and out constantly at the moment. There's been more banging in here than in your mum's bedroom, which of course is absolutely fantastic when you work from home and primarily spend a lot of your time shooting a load of video. Anyway, a massive thank you to everyone who commented last week. Loads of fun reading through those as always. Please do smash your comments down below on whatever you want. Ask, freely, whatever pops into your head. Doesn't have to be tech related. In fact, please don't make it tech related. I hate having to answer tech questions and pretend like I know what I'm banging on about. I will merrily prance away through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, what the f is next week? So next week, yes, the phone launches keep on coming, absolutely no stopping those. So it's the iQOO 13 series next week, launching on November the 26th. So come back here and you might possibly see a bit of hands-on fondly action from your Uncle Spurt. A couple other bits going live as well, and no Techspert Weekly sadly next week, as I am away again, this time in Amsterdam for another phone which is going to be launching globally very, very shortly indeed. So again, hopefully have some hot content coming at you from all of that. But assuming I don't end up consuming far too many dodgy brownies and drowning in the canal, Techspert Weekly will make a glorious, magnificent return the following week. A massive thank you as always to everyone who's watched this shower of shit right to the bitter end. Crazy mofos, you are absolutely awesome. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend and I'll see you on the flip side. Cheers everyone, love you!